Hey guys, it's me, Flo. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm making myself a little bit of breakfast. I already did some of the cutting, so I'm sorry that you are not in on it. I will bring you closer in a little bit. I just need to do some things, and yeah. So I was talking to my brother today, and I have to say, I think I have to explain myself. I have a lot of brothers, because you see, I was a teenage runaway with good cause. My mother used to beat the shit out of me all the time. She used to chase me down. I was a very responsible teenage runaway. I used to go to school. And every time I went to school, my mother would show up, find me, and attack me on campus. So that was fun. And that's what happened. And most of the time, I got away, or she would take me home or take me to a shrink or whatever, saying that I was the cause and the reason for these outbursts, because as a supposed witness, she was a parent and she was always right, and you can beat your children until they're damn near bloody, and it's okay, because that's what you do, because that's discipline. Now, I wasn't into all that very, very early on, and I started high school very early because I was intent on leaving that house as soon as possible. So I thought if I could get to college at the age of 13, I was going to do it. So I took as many courses as I could, and I got through as much as I could, but I never stuck to a major, mostly because I couldn't stick to a school. Because every single time I started doing good in a school, again, my psychotic mother would show up in another fit of rage and pull her crap. Now, at one particular school, I had this crowd of friends who were mostly musicians and guys who were just into punk and rock and roll, and I was into that sort of thing, so I kind of gravitated towards them, but I wasn't really part of them because, again, my mother was a psychopath and any guy around me wanted to have me, which only seems to be true now, not so much then. Back then, they all saw what was going on with me, and they all kind of protected me. They kind of became like this safety net for me. And it was amazing. It was awesome. I had like about 300 brothers from high school. And it was because they wanted to protect me. So they were my big brothers. They were all mostly older than me, and some of them were in my grade, and so we all got along really, really well. This is to say that I have a lot of brothers outside of my daddy's club, which gave me another 3,000 brothers. Now, I'm a blessed girl to have this much family that loves me and adores me. That being said, one of my brothers, who I haven't spoken to in a really long time, I'll tell you his story because I absolutely fucking adore him. I adore all my brothers, but like, I haven't spoken to him in so long, and I miss him so much. He was a drummer in a band called Warcraft. His name is Gerson. He was probably one of the sweetest people I've ever known. And he knew what was going on with me because his girlfriend was in school with me, and she helped me run away one time. So he let me stay with him. He actually, when he introduced me to his mother, because I was dating his friend at the time, when he introduced me to his mother, he walked into the house with me and his drum kit, and I was holding part of the kit. I was helping him come in with it, and he was like, "Oh, hey, Mom, this is my sister." And then we walked right past her into his bedroom. He was like, come on. So we walked into the bedroom, and he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. She gets it." So I took the top bunk, and he drummed all night, and he fell asleep at the bottom bunk, and that's how we lived for about a couple of weeks. I stood with him probably one of the longest. The longest being my brother Rob. Sorry. He and I were in school together. That's what I was getting to. he and I were in school together, and he was with all the punks and whatnot. He had a mohawk, and he was so cool. And he saw my mother drag me off campus with my arm behind my back. She's the one that gave me these rotator cuff injuries, let me tell you. But okay, so he saw her literally drag me off campus like that. And when I came to school the next day, he was like, "What are you even doing here?" I was like, learning? And he was like, "Listen, you can't come here. That crazy bitch is gonna come back." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but how else am I supposed to get out of her house if I don't get a degree or something?" So he was kind of mad at me. He was like, "Listen, after school, come to my house." And then by lunch, I believe, we decided, fuck that, let's ditch, because what if my mother showed up? Which happened. So we showed up at his house, and he explained to his mom what was going on. I didn't see it through his point of view, so I was sitting here hearing his perspective, and I was mortified by, like, what he had seen, and I was so embarrassed by how he saw everything. And he, like, how he knew that my trauma responses and all of that. He convinced his mom to adopt me. Now, his mom showed up on campus, and she wanted them to sign me out of the school. And she spoke to the dean on campus, and she was like, "No, you can't have her in classes, and you can't inform her parents. Because if you inform her parents, what's going to happen is she's going to be battered and bruised, and she's going to show up back at my house broken. And I'm not going to let that woman into my house to take her child. She's going to have to fight me." So they stopped informing my mother, and I was able to finish the semester, but not the full term. Because, again, my mother did show up, but I wasn't living with Rob and his mom at the time because I didn't want to put them in danger. So I was living at the clubhouse at the time. Yeah, so I left that school and I went to many, many, many other schools. But in that friendship group, most of them were musicians, and my brother Gerson came to hang out with us, and it was just like the mesh and the beginning of the New York metal crew. Really, I saw everyone blossom into the beautiful musicians they became. And so when my brother was interviewed on YouTube, yeah, I'll try to link that below, for his contribution to Warcraft, the band that he was in, and to the New York City metal scene. When he was touted as a legend, he was like, "What? But I have a lot of people in my life who are living legends, and they don't know it. Then when they turn around and tell me the same thing, it's just like, whatever, dude, you guys are on drugs." Because while I lived a very eventful life, it's mostly the people around me who are the true legends. They saved my life. They helped me do the wonderful things that I got to do in my life. And I helped them with whatever it is that they got to do. And they became these amazing artists with and without me, you know? Oh, sorry, I'm cutting basil. I'll be right there. I need my breakfast. I can't have my breakfast. I can't have a day without my... I can't have a day without my breakfast. I normally do. I have gone 3 days without my breakfast. And so I am craving my hash. It's just potatoes, some meat, this kind of pepperoni, and a touch of basil. Yeah, calm down. Calm down. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. There was this one time I was at my dad's club, which is why when I was told I was a legend, it's hilarious because, again, I still don't believe it, but whatever. So I was sitting there in the officer's lounge because I was hanging out with my uncles. These guys raised me, you know? So I was just hanging out with them, smoking a little, a little doobage. And this guy comes in. He's a president of another club. And he looks at me. I have no patches on my back because I've always remained neutral in all things. And he looked at me and he was like, well, who the fuck are you? And my uncle set him in his place so hard. He was like, you need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. She's in this room. She's fucking royalty. She's the president of her own damn self. So you need to show the fucking respect and sit the fuck down. Know your role. He goes, you don't understand the legend that is this woman. And I sat there like the entire time just, okay. Well then, there is that. Here you go, Unc. It's hard to hear those things because while I did a lot and I was a mischief maker, I didn't exactly I did a lot of things. I'm notorious more than I'm famous. I'm not necessarily a legend. I'm kind of a mischief maker, you know. But everyone does seem to know me, at least in the Bronx and Manhattan. All right, guys, my hash is about done, and I didn't prepare my omelet. So I'm going to go and do that real quick, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.